Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This one is a Mk1 Ford Focus with a 1.8 liter petrol engine. And as you can see on the picture, this air intake system is not really stock. So let's see what's going on here. And my intention is to show you my solution, a homemade solution. So every tuner fanboy with OCD and perfection and etc. should switch off now. All the rest and the enthusiasts should follow this. Alright, so what we have here. This one is an aftermarket, probably Chinese made sport air intake filter. And it causes nicer room sound and a little bit better throttle response. So it's not the biggest tuning ever made, but it's quite affordable, it's easy to put on, and yeah, it gives you some fun. But for this you have to remove the original air box and yeah, a few modifications with the crankshaft gas system. Okay, so let's see in depth. Okay, for this I'm gonna use my specialist pointing tool to show the components. Alright, this one is the air intake filter. It comes with this belt or clip, and it is variable in size, so you can order the proper size. And for this size, you definitely need something, a good measuring tool like this. So you have to measure the diameter of the original intake mouth opening pipe, and according to this size you order the proper air filter. So that's your business. From here on, this one is all stuck, so no modification needed. Just simply put it on and bolt it on. All right, this one is actually sitting on the intake pipe. So here's an intake duct, a pipe, and it's end up there. And I actually put a restrictor under it. What do I mean? So actually that black stuff is a restrictor made of metal sheet rounded up in order to restrict the airflow. Whatever airflow is coming from this duct, it is redirected here to feed some fresh air, because otherwise, without this trick, mostly this air filter is sucking from this engine bay, and usually this engine bay is full with hot air due to the engine and the exhaust. So this air is hot usually, or warm, which is not really nice. So we want some external air coming through, just like the original. So nothing magic, just reusing the existing parts. All right, this one is the easiest one. But what is more tricky is the crankshaft gas system. So every engine, internal combustion engine, having more or less few or little or more crankshaft gases, which gas appears at the top and at the bottom of the engine. So under the valve cover, it appears to be a gas, and in the engine lower part is also gassy. So by factory, the solution is that you have a piping attached to the valve cover, and inside the valve cover there is an opening which allows the gas to leave throughout that opening. And here is a pipe. There is a rubber pipe which connects to the original airbox. So, simply said, the gases developing under the valve cover, rocker cover, whatever, valve cover, is sucked back into the airbox, where it gets filtered and goes into the system. When the gas is coming from the lower part of the crankshaft, it's actually a subject of a PCV system, positive crankshaft ventilation system. So to put it simply, there is a special valve acts as an opening in the engine. So somewhere down there, yes, you can see down there, this is an opening plus a valve which actually goes back to the intake manifold. Yeah, so here you have the intake manifold, and that original factory tubing from the PCV valve goes back straight to the air intake. Oh yeah, you can see there. This is the place where many little pipes and tubes are connecting into the intake manifold. And actually, this could be a source of problem when the small tubes are broken, having a hole. So if you have a rough idle, maybe you have a leak in these pipings. All right, so this is the original situation. Once you are changing and get rid of the original airbox, you have to face with the trouble that the valve cover piping should be placed somewhere, because otherwise this fumy, smelly gas goes into the passenger compartment and you're gonna breathe in. And let me tell you, this is an ugly smell, and also gives you quite a bad headache, and you won't notice it easily, or maybe you will notice it easily if you are sensitive enough. So anyway, those gases has to be sucked back with this tuning air filter. So you need a piping. That's step number one. But if you bring this this PCV gas tubing a little bit further, so the story is that you have the upper part sucked back, why don't you just do the same with the lower part? Because in my opinion, an unmeasured gas is a bad gas. So as a basic tuning tip, you want your intake air measured 100%. So that means you shall not allow any other air to come inside your intake manifold. So it is a straightforward conclusion that you need to plug down the intake manifold regarding this PCV tubing. so no air enters there, and you get your PCV gas, your crankshaft gas, tubed back to here. All right, so let's have another explanation what I just said here. We want all the crankshaft gases delivered into the intake side of this air filter, both from up and from down. For this, you can figure out some solution. My solution was the following. Yeah, so you need a proper size and strong tube plugged into the place of the PCV valve. So you remove the PCV valve completely and plug a proper size tube in its place, and you get this tubing under here connected to this T-shaped junction. Well, this one you can laugh, you can criticize, I don't care. Those who are still following this, so you have this T-shaped junction which connects the down pipe with the up pipe together, and the exit of the T-shape goes, well, here. This one is not a big miracle. That's a screw-on cap with an aluminium box, so it's kind of airtight. You have to prepare the pipes with some insulation, so you have to make it airtight. This is one solution. Your solution can be absolutely another one. This box represents a kind of buffler, a filter, because some liquid will appear in this system, mostly water, condensed water. So this one is actually a condensed water catcher. Yeah. So you have one input pipe, you have some sort of filter, like a mesh wire filter, something like that. Most likely not a paper filter. And you have an output pipe which goes into here. Okay, what's this? This one is just a separator. And yes, here is the ending of the pipe. Well, this air filter luckily prepared in this way, so it's hollow. You have to be creative on your side if you cannot buy like this. That's the point. All right, so yeah, this one is a tuning. This gives you some results. First of all, once you switch this air filter, you have to deal with the crankshaft gases. You can improve the original idea of this PCV valve by removing it and plug down and restrict the air intake manifolds, so there is no connection anymore there, and you rather suck all the made the gases sucked back into this air filter, and you apply some kind of catcher where you can, what you can open easily. This one, and everything must be airtight. All right, all the tubing, all the connections, because otherwise you end up with the same trouble that crankshaft gases will be present in the engine bay, and from the engine bay they're gonna find their way back into the passenger compartment throughout the ventilation. Yes, you can see this is the ventilation holes. So once you switching on the air condition with the ventilation on, this is the place where it is mostly sucked in and actually pressurized in while the car is moving. All right, so if you're not treating your gases well, you're gonna end up with a huge headache, and that's a bad feeling and an unpleasant situation. This is priority number one. Priority number two, you will face with some improvement in the throttle response, and you definitely will hear a more roaring sound from this engine. It's not crazy, but it's definitely not stock. All right, so not a big thing, but you can waste a lot of time with it. And I just did it, and I encourage you to do so if you want to get some specialty out of your 20 plus years old beauty. All right, use it wisely. Bye.